In this section, Section 5, we're going to disassemble the airframe from the landing gear for painting. If you notice, the airframe as received from Rotoway has a protective coating on it and some of these wax inspection marks. Well, that needs to be removed before you can paint. The best way to do that is through bead blasting. It would probably be best to find a professional in your area that could do the bead blasting and the paint for you.
Do not chrome plate the ground handling wheels, engine mount, or landing gear. The plating process can significantly weaken the material. There are two paint processes Rotoway recommends. One is a traditional spray painting with a two-part epoxy paint. Use a light-colored paint such as light gray or white. Light colors ease visual inspection of welds in the event of a stress crack. If you're not set up with the correct equipment and spray booth, you may find it best to have a professional paint facility do the work for you. Rotoway recommends epoxy-based products because its surface resists fuel and oil spills better than traditional paints. Another acceptable paint option for the metal components is powder coating. Powder coating is a process where the paint in powder form is applied to the statically charged metal components and then placed in an oven for 40 to 60 minutes and baked on. When it's cool enough to touch, it's ready to go. It's a very durable finish, and powder coatings also come in epoxy-based finishes for fuel and oil resistant protection. Here's a builder tip. Note, before sending off the airframe to paint, cut a notch in the lower fuel tank bracket for the fuel drain fitting. Hold the fuel tank in position to locate notch. Cut the notch with a hole saw. Remove burrs with a grinding tool or file. Also, you will notice the upper engine arm flat should also be trimmed to remain clear of the fuel tank. Do not trim too close to the bolt hole. Maintain proper edge distance. Here's a list of other items that can be painted or powder coated at this time, in addition to the airframe, landing gear, engine mount, fuel tube mount, tail boom support tubes. Note, on parts that have an axle or shaft, you should mask off with tape. Here's a list of items that can be chrome plated as an option. Note, do not paint the foot pedal cross shaft. Reassemble the airframe to the gear and skids and install tail boom supports and engine mount. Use a torque wrench to torque all the bolts on reassembly.